What's crack-a-lacking, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Francis Dhun Uncensored, late afternoon edition. We're going to be talking about Merlin Chain, whatever happened to Merlin Chain and this launchpad on the people's launchpad, that is. You probably heard about that launchpad for the first time today. Merlin Chain is making a buzz, and I think what we saw that took place earlier this morning is a clear sign and indicator of things to come. When we're breaking down this, don't mistake the small allocation size that is very tiny and minute with the potential of this token. So that's what we're going to be discussing right here, right now.
Francis Dhun Uncensored.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Smart Money channel, Francis Dhun Uncensored, where we do have tomorrow's newspapers today. It's all about the Bitcoin Layer 2 craze mania, however you want to see it or say it, bro, as long as that equals dollars at the end of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, in today's episode, as I just mentioned, we're going to be talking about Merlin Chain. It's making a lot of noise for a lot of good reason, and I think a lot of you guys, a lot, don't really understand the specifics of this and how they came out of nowhere, kind of. But for a lot of other people, they did have their eyes on them. So I want to give you guys a little bit more insights and share my findings, because you know I'm all about the Bitcoin Layer 2 solutions, and chains like Merlin Chain is no exception. So make sure you share this link to your mom, your dad, your neighbor, your friend, everybody that you know, because we're going to be discussing some nice points here. Okay, guys? Cool. Let me just drop this in my chat, make sure people are aware that we are live. And we do have people here, guys. Thank you so much for joining so early. I know we're coming a little bit random, but that's how we do it. As I said, make sure you got the bell notifications on, because you never ever know when I'm going to be dropping some knowledge alpha, what I've learned in my 7 years of being in this space, going bald and gray, and doing the research for you, so you don't got to do it, but I still hope you do it, if you know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. First, before I move on, I would like to know how many people actually got into the People's Launchpad. You guys are going to learn a lot from this, trust me, right? Trust me, I'm going to bring up some cool points here, and I'm sure you're going to agree. It's nice and dark here. I like the late night vibe, you know what I'm saying? It puts me into that mode, because ninjas work at night. And we're going to work tonight, boy, that's for sure. So make sure you share this. It's going to be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to share my screen momentarily, and we're going to be looking at a few metrics and how this particular Bitcoin Layer 2 really rose to fame, because they did. They rose to fame, that's for sure. All right, let me know your comments in the live stream, or if you're watching the replay, don't forget to smash those like buttons and let us know what you think in the comment section, guys. Cool. So, yeah, let's talk about this, Now, most of you guys already are subscribed here, and you probably saw today's video, or maybe you're just getting home and you got the bell notifications for this one here, and you weren't aware of earlier's video. But earlier today, we did drop some alpha, some knowledge on you guys to try to get you guys into this particular, let's call it a fair launch. Not really a fair mint, because you're not minting anything per se. The actual token, which is a BRC-20 token, is already minted out, and they will be, I don't know about slowly, but they're giving this out in different ways and methodologies, right? Which is still unknown. They didn't really come public with everything. But what we do know earlier today, that there was about a 1% supply, which sounded like a lot. Not too sure how many people were actually going to hop on this. And to the whole freaking ordinal space surprise, or whatever you want to call it, fungibility of tokens on Bitcoin, to that community surprise, there was a shit ton of people, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I'm talking about right here. So this is the People's Launchpad. You're probably aware of them as of now, by now. And, 53,197 people right here participated in this particular launchpad, sharing 1% of that supply. So let me just refresh that. That number might change. There you go. 54,593 participants. Hustlers, people who just want to grind it out and try to get theirs, people who are just shooting their shot. They're not sitting on their hands waiting for something to happen. They're trying to make something happen and take advantage of what's in front of them. And, this is what took place. When it comes down to it, if you share 1% of this and we look at the supply, the overall supply is 1.2 billion. And as you can see right here, 21 million was allocated for this launchpad. Okay. Now that means that how this same amount of people here, okay, they're actually sharing that 1%, and it's 100,000 in total, which equates to something dumb like, bro, it's like under $1, okay? Probably under 50 cents. Okay, now this is the point that I need to highlight. Okay, this is the point that I need to highlight. Now, a lot of people are complaining, and I get it. Nobody knew how many people were going to catch wind to this and come and, bridge over like what we displayed and demonstrated for you in today's video, earlier today. But, what this tells you is the type of demand these guys have. Okay, so your allocation ticket might be a little bit tiny and small. I get that, but that's not to be confused with the actual token's potential, right? And, this is not just an unknown team, right? These are guys that actually already made a dent in the ordinal verse, let's call it, okay, in this sector. And, these are the same people that, we'll get to that shortly, who did the BRC-420 standard. You know what I'm saying? So, and the whole Bitmap cats are all over this as well. And I believe the BRC-420 standard actually creates assets within these metaverses, which is damn cool. Because what the heck is a metaverse without assets, bro? You know what I mean? So these guys were actually the ones to, create this. And they have created an army. And that army and this particular chain and the individual behind it has also caught the attention of OKEX Ventures. And that's very important. And I think we all here could agree that OKEX Ventures has taken the throne. I mean, I don't know, man. You could say Unisat, but I don't know, man. It's debatable, let's just say. And it's not about who's taking the throne. My point is OKEX Ventures, and OKEX, that is a force to be reckoned with. And if they see value in this particular chain, I don't think they're stupid people to grow a multi-billion-dollar business like OKEX, is my point. Ladies and gentlemen, who do we have in the chat? We do got a few people joining. I do apologize. We got Sonic in the house. Plus we got Zaza. I do apologize for going live without telling you cats. But what I'm going to do here is, if you give me a second, I will be sharing this in my telechats, because I know my team are asleep. And for me, it's like, I can't be sleeping, bro. Not in this bull run. The bull run that's about to come, I can't be sleeping. We are alive. I'll sleep when I'm dead, because I don't believe there's going to be another bull run like this one in history. So I'm going to take full advantage of it. Cool. So we're working twice a day here, y'all. That's what we'll be doing. Now, with that being said, as I come back here and I go like this and I share this with you guys. Now, okay, so we broke that down, 1% of the supply. We've been covering B2 Network, and they were doing 5%. Okay, guys? So, 1%, I mean, it's not a lot, but it's not like too little. It was still worth it. Of course, with these people coming in, it made it, it disintegrated it, to be honest. Now, when you put into the notion that how, you have to come over here, at least in my video, this is what I demonstrated, and we bridged over ERC20 USDT to the MBTC, which is the Merlin Bitcoin. You can't see it, I'm blocking it. But that cost me, I believe it was something like, I don't know, I think it was like 90 cents. Right? Here's the funny part. So that cost me 90 cents to bridge over. And we're talking about an allocation about 50 cents. I don't know what the math is, bro. It's under $1. Who gives a fuck? You get the point. It's small potatoes. Okay? That just means that how my bridge fee already kind of put me in the deficit. See what I'm saying? But who knew that there was going to be a shit ton of people rushing to this? Come on. Of that stature. Nobody ever knew this. We're at 1% of the supply. We heard a fair freaking launch, and everybody's jumping up hip hop hooray. Right? Let's be honest here, guys. How many times, this is the thing, right? You can't make this community happy. Like, when I say the community, not you guys. I know you guys are already happy because you found me. But I'm talking about how you can't make the crypto community as a whole happy. Why? Because when other people gets into, say, early stage investments, let's call it a pre-sale, let's call it a mint or whatever, they're like, oh, it's whales. They created whales. Oh, big influencers got into it. They're going to dump on us. But then when you get into something all together like this, honky-dory, right, and everybody's getting in, and then they see the allocation size is getting smaller and smaller, then people still want to talk shit. So this is what I'm trying to tell you guys, and we're getting to a bigger point, so stay tuned, okay, and you want to stay tuned to the next slide, or the next tab. But it's like, if everybody, the way investing works is like this, right? If you bought a home 5 years ago, right, you probably got it cheaper than the guy that's going to buy it from you 5 years later, and you're selling that home for probably $500,000 in profit, while that guy's still happy that he got a home, right? So it served the purpose, right? So if you got into fucking Tesla stocks last week, you think you're fucking going to be a rich guy? No, the person who sold to you, who bought it to fucking 8 years ago, is the one laughing. So at the end of the day, somebody got to sell, somebody got to buy, somebody got to win, somebody got to lose, right? Now maybe Tesla will go up even more in the next 5-6 years. I don't know, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is, when when it comes to these types of things, there's pros and cons to everything. If everybody was to get into the same price all together, let's just say the whole world onboarded onto this, and we all got 0.00000000001% allocation. Is that what you want? I mean, I'm just saying, right? That's not the case here because it's only 1% of the supply. But my point is, it just don't work like that. It just don't work like that, right? So people are complaining about this particular way, right? How they went about doing it. I still feel as though it was really cool. I feel as though that how the Merlin Chain cats, they gave this away for free. They said, give a dog a bone, and they threw it to the doggies, and the doggies went, jumping in the air for that shit. You ever see that? You know what I'm talking about, right? So, and that's what took place here. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, as I said, do not confuse the small ticket size allocation with the potential of this token. Because if I had to tell you, this one here is going to be one of the best ones, okay? Right, they're right up there. Who knows what's really going to happen? But this one is definitely right up there. B2 Network is right up there. Anything that has a narrative that's actually legit, that's going to build and follow through, is going to be up there, We got this, like, runes-based standard one. We'll see what happens there. But what I can say for certain with conviction, the Merlin Chain, right, and B2 Network are top dogs right now. Bitfinity as well, right? But that's a different chain. They're on ICP, but, they're very close to Bitcoin as well. Trust me, ICP is sick. But this video is about Merlin Chain, right? So once again, the moral of the story is, after all that throat clearing is, do not be mistaken with your small ticket size allocation in regards to this token's potential. Trust me, you don't want to be confused with that because you're going to miss out. Okay? Now, here's some alpha for you coming from Bitmap Tech. This is the guy who's behind this project. Okay? Another tutorial, but you need to translate it. This program has 31,000 participants, and it lasts for 5 days. Okay, so I guess that number was off. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about here. Oh, that's 50. Yeah, that is, 54,000. So yeah, this is an old one. My bad. Okay. So don't worry about this. Check this out. Don't worry. Okay. This is just 1%. The real deal is coming in days, ladies and gentlemen. I repeat. Okay. He says, don't worry. This is just 1%. He means the supply. The real deal is coming in days. Okay, guys. So what does that mean? You still actually have a chance here, coming from the horse's mouth, to get in on this, before it goes live, one would think, right? Now, this is circumstantial evidence here, right, coming from him, not so much speculating. Is this going to be some form of tasks? Is this going to be some form of, like, airdrops? Is this for the people who got into this particular, people's launchpad, right, who participated in this? Are they going to get benefits? Are we going to have to test a bridge? I don't know. But just stay tuned and follow this dude, because when that drops, who's going to come with a video. That's going to be me, but I just want you guys to be on top of things as well. Okay? Now, there were also reports about these guys wanting to do a much larger size, let's call it airdrop, right? Distribution of these tokens, right? And we're talking about the Merlin, and this is the BRC-20 token, by the way, which is pretty cool. Right? So they wanted to actually do a larger distribution. What we're seeing right now is with the Bitcoin side of things, the Bitcoin L2s, at least for the ones that we've seen, and for the most part what people are talking about, they're doing about a 5% of the supply. So they caught notice to that and said, you know what, we're going to ante that up. And this was in a post there by one of those major publications. I forget which one. So one could imagine, let's say about 10%, maybe even 20%. And, coming from him right here, he even says this, don't worry about this 1% thingy. The real deal is coming in days, guys. So be prepared for that. Now, again, the whole moral of this, the purpose of this live stream presentation is to show you guys, don't get lost with the small allocation. The token in itself is one of the better ones when it comes to Bitcoin L2s, okay? So everywhere you go and you put in, like, say, Merlin Chain, BTC L2, dude, you're going to see about 20, 10, 15, whatever publications talking about it. And here we go again. So Merlin Chain has completed its financing to build a native BTC L2 with participation from OKEX Ventures and others. Bitcoin Layer 2 solution Merlin Chain has announced the completion of its financing with 24 institutions, including OKEX Ventures. Now, it's important to note, like, I feel as though what they're doing here is, in the eyes of these venture capitalists, is good, because they see liquidity, they see community, they see all these things, right? OKEX, who knows, maybe, I don't know, they do something there where it gets, I don't know if it'll be on their freaking exchange, who knows? Probably, it's a BRC-20 token at the end of the day, and, if I'm going to invest into something, I'm sure we all could agree, all the Bitmap cats out there, If you're invested into Bitmap, wouldn't you want to see Bitmap do well? So if you owned like a large marketplace, wouldn't you want to put it there? So, you know what I mean? Those are things to take note of, right? They're catching notice to these, deep pockets cats, right? So I really want to go through this Medium article and break this down for you guys so you guys get a very, a more better understanding of their history, and it's a very good Medium article, okay? So let's just go over this. Trust me, it's worth your time. You'll get a much clearer picture of what you can expect from the protocol itself, the people behind it, and why we're led to believe the token is worth your time, okay? On how you could get it in the, when the airdrop happens, the real one according to the Bitmap tech guy. Okay, so Merlin Chain offers a native scaling solution that integrates a ZK rollup network, decentralized Oracle network, and on-chain BTC fraud-proof modules. It is committed to empowering Bitcoin's native assets, protocols, and products on Layer 1 to make Bitcoin fun again. It's so funny. We made Shin BRC20, and we're calling that, we're making BRC20s great again. But I guess what he's trying to say there is, these assets, right? So Bitcoin native assets, so ordinals, right? You can think of .sats domains, you can think of, BRC20s. He's saying that how they're actually going to be working on their Layer 2 in its purest form, right? That's what I'm getting out of that, right? Bitcoin's native assets, protocols, and products on Layer 1. That's pretty cool. So it's kind of like not trying to like reinvent it, but using those pure solid assets from Layer 1 and putting it up there. Cool. It is built by Bitmap Tech, a premier OG team boasting an overall market cap exceeding $500 million. The BRC-420 Blue Box collection under Bitmap Tech has become one of the hottest ordinals assets, going from an inscription cost, guys, this is a mod, 15 cents to an all-time floor price of $34,000. Reaching the third largest market cap following Bored Ape Yacht Clubs and Crypto Freaking Punks. Where the heck was I for that? Where the heck was I? Sorry, I'm trying to do something on the fly here. That mouse is like giving so much freaking problems these days. Okay, so what did they say? That's like almost a freaking BTC right there, bro. Divided by 0.15. Doggies. We're talking doggies. We're talking about 226,666.6x. I repeat, 226,666 bomboclat x. Now, they do call me Mr. 100x, the GOAT, but I ain't no Mr. freaking 100,000x. If you know what I'm saying, that blows my mind, and that is actually real shit. You could back that up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. You could check when I say back that up, you could actually do your own research on that, and you could see that is the case. So, anyways, moving on. What does that show? That shows that how, they create value. Clearly. Dude, I've never even heard of those type of games before in my life. Unless you go into Bitcoin in fucking 2007. If you know what I'm saying. 2009, I'm just saying. Don't try to say, bro, you didn't even know when Bitcoin came out? So as a strong believer in Bitcoin for many years, Bitmap Tech, the team behind Merlin Chain, is extremely committed to the development of the Bitcoin ecosystem and seeks to bring more users and assets to Bitcoin through their work rather than serving other ecosystems in the name of Bitcoin. And that's exactly what they're doing. All right, straight up, give credit where credit is due. Like I don't try to talk about the things that benefits me or doesn't benefit me. I just try to talk about reality. That's how you're going to make, the most bang for your buck here in this space. Be honest about things. So give respect. Put some respect on their name. Bitmap.game. Okay. So this is what they have. This is their work in the past. The first metaverse product based on Bitmap assets, attracting 30,000 plus users on Bitcoin. Users can chat, trade, and gaming in this virtual world. Now, that is so cool, guys. By the way, if you go to my Twitter, it's Metaverse Landlord. I own MetaverseLandlord.com. That's a key industry term in the space, right? And I know, like when Bitmap was coming about, everybody was just talking about land. But nobody was really talking about the assets. It cannot be a true metaverse without assets. And we're not just talking about a token. We know they got that token going on. It has to have assets. It has to be a shared 3D environment. It has to be ubiquitous, accessible to everyone everywhere. And it's a shared environment, meaning how you have so many people at the same time. It's not simulations, right? That's a video game. So these guys they were on it, and they actually created some really badass assets where, it's 3D, and obviously I'm going to show you the box and all that. They got some mineral stuff that could actually be utilized within this whole Bitmap metaverse, right? So they were ahead of the curve there. They were ahead of the game, right? Clearly they were. Cool. So BRC-420 protocol, including Marketplace, a decentralized economic framework that operates on the ordinals network, allowing creators to receive all revenues directly without the need to manage transactions through a platform, emphasizing efficiency and interoperability. It holds important utilities for creator economies on chain, copyrights, and metaverse. Once again, there was this project, the Dragon Balls one, the Sailor Moon, the Dragon Z Balls, whatever it was. Dog, the mempool went instantaneously to 600. Instantaneously to 600, okay? From 28 or something to 600. When last have you seen that? So what does that tell you? That tells you that how they are degens or investors who are keeping a close eye on anything dropping on this particular protocol. And that actually is a real use case where these Dragon Ball things are going to go into a game. They didn't create that project, but they created the standard for these creators to come and drop their assets on it, is my point. So that's another key selling point to take notice of. Now, recursive doodles introduce a multi-layer recursive inscription methodology that allows for many layers of resources, logic, and mechanisms to be recursed at the base, with the top layer of inscriptions that may be as small as 5 KB in size, but can contain a rich contents and logic, and even form its own damn metaverse, okay? Recursive index, and they got something else called here, recursive BBS, all right? So it's not like if they're just coming to market and saying, hey, I have an idea. Let's make a Bitcoin layer 2. Yes, it's trending. No, they have proven themselves time and time and time and time again. So, these guys know the game. This raise enables the team to continue enriching the ecosystem and boosting the overall liquidity. So far, Merlin Chain has built a powerful dApp ecosystem and is planning for further expansion. And they talk about all these things here, okay? Let's just carry on a little bit more here. Merlin Chain is set to launch its mainnet this week. Is that accurate still? I think it's in 2 weeks. Yeah, this might be a little bit inaccurate with that, or maybe I'm inaccurate. Nonetheless, it's soon, okay? Following the launch, Merlin Chain plans to host a bunch of staking events and distribute its governance token through Fair Launch, aiming to reward real users and builders. About them, one last time, that's the summary right there, guys. So I hope that gave you a little bit more insights to how, what's really happening behind the scenes here and the people behind it. Okay? What are you guys saying in the live chat? Okay, let me see who is here in the live chat. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, we do have a super chat. Haha, Crypto Lifer. What's up, bro? Long time, man. How you doing? How's the Escalade? Crypto Lifer says, this man is the best. Love is love. You know how we do it around here, Crypto Lifer. A long time, bro. We definitely got to catch up. Long time no see, Lifer. Thank you so much for the $50, bro. You got to keep it for gas, bro. Those Escalades, they drain the gas tank. Trust me. Cool. We got Mice. Mice says, this cycle. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. Mice says this cycle kind of feels like the second halving cycle. Roger that. Gotcha. What we got over here? We have Imposter Hearn Handez says. Fernandez. Okay, I see what you did there. Hey, Francis. You seen Bitcoin Virtual Machine? I don't know which one you're talking about. Bitcoin Machines. Is it an ordinal collection? Oh, you're talking about something else. Okay, what do we got here? So I'm just talking about Shint and all of that fun stuff. Be prepared. You guys are just shilling. Cool. Thank you guys for joining. Yeah. Okay, so let me just carry back here now. So I really wanted to show this marketplace here, guys. So this right here is the BRC-420.io. I know a lot of people don't like. There's a lot of new people to the channel, to be honest, and they didn't even really know how BRC-20s work, yet alone the BRC-420 standard. So I did want to show this, okay, guys? So the BRC-420 standard is, these 3D assets that can be placed within metaverses and such, like Bitmap, what have you. I believe this was the first one that was referred to in the article. That was what? 15 cents? 226,000x. And here it is right here. You know, that's going for 0.688 BTC. That's like 29K, bro. That's 29K for that. Okay? Again, they know how to create value. Clearly. You know, and people are definitely buying it up. And when we look at the total volume, they have over 400 Bitcoin in total volume. Okay, which is 18 million, just under 18 million. Right, guys? This is another one that's popular. Look, I'm not saying go buy this. I'm just showing you guys, you know, what's out there. Okay, so, like, what's out there in terms of, you know, coming from these guys. Cool? So there we got some mineral stuff, 0.01 BTC, about $450, right? And once again, Merlin Chain, Merlin Chain, Merlin Chain. It's all over Google. It's trendy. And, you know, all I know is I just want to get some of these damn tokens, right? And me getting 50 cents worth of allocation ain't cutting the mustard. Ain't cutting the mustard, okay? So we're going to have to find other ways on getting this, which they already alluded. There'll be other things, okay? So now this is the actual testnet, guys, okay? You could go to testnet.merlinchain.io/bridge/staking, okay? You could come on over here and, I don't know, maybe you want to dink around, right? Get their testnet network, plug that into your MetaMask, connect your wallet, and maybe you think around. But you know, I think the official announcement on how we could actually get these tokens will be revealed shortly, according to, you know, Bitmap Tech. So, you know, one could imagine it might be this, but if the mainnet's going live soon, it may not be this. It might be some other steps involved, right? But hey, if you just want to come over and see what's good, come on over and give them a go, right? Okay. now I'm getting to something else. Okay, so there is another way for you to get some tokens, okay? It's not the Merlin tokens, but it is coming from that ecosystem. Now, for the people who's been in this ordinal space early, you guys probably already know how this operates, right? You guys remember Taproot Wizards? Coming from another Merlin-like wizard sorcery group. When they told people they wanted their NFT, their ordinals, they had to take a fucking shower and record it. And those guys got a real good kick out of that shit. Did that even go live? Taproot Wizards? Could somebody confirm? I don't even know if it went live. But they definitely got a good kick out of people because the entire freaking, bro, all you saw was the videos. You put in like, what was the ticker? Wizard, WZRD or something? In the, in Twitter. All you saw was a bunch of randoms taking showers, bro. I'm like, you might as well take a fucking golden shower. Because, like, they would have got away with that shit, too. Like, what can I say, guys? It was a long-ass bear market, bro. And people were actually taking showers to get a fucking Taproot Wizard ordinal, bro. Would you believe that? Dude, bear markets could do wonders to the brain for all the wrong reasons. Now, here we go, a little sorcery of their own coming from Bitmap Tech. And if you want to get these tokens that Sonic told me about, you freaking degen, I love ya, Sonic. For the Merlins, Bitmap, 3 for RT, so retweet and follow, right? What we got here? 100,000, this is wrapped Bitmap tokens, right? So that's wrapped map, okay? So, well, not wrapped map, but WMAP, wrapped Bitmap tokens, okay? You can get that. You got 2,000 of these wrapped 420s. Right? So that's a Blue Blocks token. Pretty much what I just showed you over here. These things, there's a token behind that apparently. So if you really want, bro, if you want to get some capital, it's either, you know, like, I should say, like, people trying to invest there, it's like maybe they got a little bit of money and more time, or maybe you got less time and more money. This definitely falls under for the cats who got, you know, a little bit less money and more time. And if you really want to just build a capital anywhere you can, hey, man, you got to do what you got to do. Game is game. Like, to be honest, it's very hard to make a lot of money doing the honest thing. You know what I'm saying? You just got to go through shit like this. So what they're trying to ask us to do here now is, which is cool, you know, nothing's wrong with it if that's what you're into. I actually was this close of doing it myself, but I didn't do it. You know, so they said this. So fill out this form, all right? You got to follow them as well. So Merlin Layer 2, make sure it's the right one. And then you got to add, you know, Merlin, this crystal ball, and this freaking emoji, the wizard, on your actual, you know, Twitter handle. Well, not handle, but name, all right? So mine's is my name, Francis Dhun, BTC right? And then I would add, you know, this thing here, Merlin, and these 2 emojis, right? Follow them. Fill out this form, withdraw your WMAP and your W40 from Merlin around end of February. So I don't know, man. If you're into that kind of shit, you can still get some of them tokens. You know, people are telling me to like cover all kinds of stuff and how they could get free shit. There you go. It's pretty much saying get a tattoo of Merlin crystal ball wizard emoji on your Twitter profile name. There you go. For whatever it's worth. Okay, and here we go. So this is the particular token at hand. Wrapped Bitmap. Bitmap needs to be tokenized in order to achieve more liquidity. Depositing on Bitmap will get 1,000 BRC-20 BWMAP. For all of these like letters, BRC-20, CBRC, freaking BRC WMAPs. Damn, it's a tongue twister. But yeah, you'll get a BRC-20 WMAP and vice versa. All assets will be securely secure. This is like the particular token here, right? So to let you guys know, it is a real token. Speaking of a real token, the one that I'm interested in is sitting right here, boy. So this is the one we're going after in this particular, fair launch and the upcoming airdrops where we could expect to see a heck of a lot more than 1%. If I had to guess, I would guess there's going to be like maybe 20% airdropped, right? Is what I could, that's my speculation though. Who knows? So the ticker is MERL. I'll take a sip of this, guys. And it's right here. Cool. There is the supply, 2.1 billion. Minted the entire thing, so we know, yeah, that falls into line to what they were saying. Yeah, decimals 18. The date, when was this? Anyways, when did they do this? Just curious to know. So this was December of last year. December the 17th, they minted this out, right? And that's for the ones who are now joining. We're talking about this particular token is what we're looking at here. Cool, guys? So, what I wanted to bring to your attention is, do not mistake the small analyze ticket for like, man, forget this token. You're going to want to probably hang yourself from a tree later on, okay? And I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want you to misconstrue and get confused with the 2 points here. This is something that I am definitely have my eyes set on. And if history is a sign of things to come with their other assets and all that in the marketplace, I mean, come on, man. We're talking about a Bitcoin layer 2 blockchain. I don't know about a blockchain, but Bitcoin layer 2 protocol. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I got to do my homework on that. It's very hard. I couldn't find no documents. There is another project called Merlin Protocol. I think that's something different. Very eerily similar. But a different ticker and everything. They're talking about ordinals and BRCs, but it's very hard. I couldn't really find much documentation on this, the Merlin chain here, to give us more token economics, to give us anything about nodes and such. But I'm sure that'll be coming to us. But nonetheless, this is something that you should have your eyes set on because, big money guys are definitely investing into them. You know what I'm saying, guys? So what do you guys got for me in the live chat? How many of you guys are looking forward to your 50-cent allocation? Let me know. Let me go down the list over here. So Jin NFT was the first one who says hi. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Let me know in the comment section what's going on. So Monk says, I want to participate, but I also get the feeling our allos will be very low and don't want to go through the trouble of that. Well, that's the case here, right? The allo would be low, but again, there's other people speculating that how the people who got into this, and this is pure degen speculation, the people getting into this are the ones who are going to have some form of benefit later down the road when, the other airdrop takes place or the other tasks involved to get more tokens takes place. Now, don't take my word for that. That's just pure speculation. But I would say so too, man. Don't even bother doing it right now. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. Unless you think there's some sort of benefit towards it. Zaza says, Crypto Lifer, that is correct. Crypto Lifer and me go way back, to be honest. He was actually making videos on my channel back in the day, Crypto Lifer. You know what I'm saying? What else we got here? Hey, Francis, you seen... Oh, yeah, I already asked that. I mean, yeah, you already mentioned that. Indian Trap. Bro, what USDT amount should we invest as a minimum? Bro, I mean, as I said, man. Look, they're talking about 80,000 points, like, is the most you could get. That works out to, like, 0.02 BTC. So, the lowest was, like, 0.000025, I'm pretty sure. So I think the least you could do is like about $50, something like that. But again, bro, is it really going to be worth it for you at this point? I would just say save yourself some time, save yourself some stress and some energy of not breaking your fucking left nut over fucking 50 cents worth of allocation and save that energy and that left nut for the actual airdrop. the real one. That's my real advice for you, bro. Okay. You know, I'm out here hustling. I'm out here doing things. And like when we get information, bro, it's like we got to analyze it, make sure it's like legit, number one. Make sure that how it's coming from the right team and, you know, to get it out there for you guys. Because, you know, when things get really clogged up and congested, you know, the window of opportunity closes. So it's almost like the Great American Race. Amazing Race. The Great Amazing Race, the reality show. Have you ever seen that? It's like some academics involved. You got to know how to like do some tests, and then you got to freaking display that you're able of doing it in a timely fashion. For me, when these things come out, bro, it's like that. You know what I mean? So for us, it's like we had limited information to break shit down and put it out there, and 1% of the supply. I mean, come on, man. That's still a hefty amount, right? It's good enough to go after, but knowing how many people come in thereafter, I mean. We do have tomorrow's newspapers today, but we can only use it once a day. So, you know what I'm saying? I already used it. So, we didn't know how many people were going to come to make it, down to 50 cents. Or 20 cents by now. Whatever. What we got here? So, Nikolai Yap says, I read they are integrating ZK rollups. Didn't Yago say ZK rollups is possible? Is not possible? Man, everybody says, no. Okay, so with Satoshi VM, this is a thing. That was an investor issue about people dumping on them. Okay, that's what happened there and all these things. So that wasn't a really factual thing. You know, there are some guys like unbiased people who actually looked into that and said that how there are real contracts being built up there. It isn't spoof contracts. Now, I did an interview with the B2 network, and his answer, you know, he gave us an answer. I forget exactly what he said word for word, but it is possible. You know, the same people who are talking about how, you know, you can't save assets on Bitcoin, which is ordinals. You can't make tokens on Bitcoin, which is BRC-20 tokens. You can't make all of these other standards are the ones you're saying that how, you know, ZK rollups and layer 2s on Bitcoin is impossible. That's not true, right? So, you know, kind of like this is the best way to put it. You know how a lot of the Bitcoin ordinal people will make fun of the Bitcoin red laser eye guys all the time, right? So now a lot of the Bitcoin ordinal people are becoming the red laser eye guys. Talking about Bitcoin layer 2s are scams and doing this. Don't get me wrong, there'll be a lot of scams out there, just like there's a lot of scams in ordinals. But does that mean from the technology standpoint is a total scam? Of course not. Of course not. You know, again, if you put yourself in the eyes of the real OG Bitcoiners who were here from 2013, 2011, and they just saw Bitcoin in its purest form as just only Bitcoin. And then after that, they saw a shitcoin called Ethereum come. Another shitcoin called fucking whatever else. I don't know. What came after Ethereum? Fucking whatever. I don't know, XRP or something, right? And Cardano. They're like, all these shitcoins, I just want Bitcoin. But then other people who came in thereafter, when Ethereum just went live, were like, yeah, I'm all for new tech. I'm all for innovation. It's not a scam. Is Ethereum a scam? No. But those people who only saw Bitcoin at the beginning only think Bitcoin is a thing. So they're not willing to accept change and adapt to change. You know what I mean? It's kind of like your grandfather. He don't give a fuck about like the internet. He just wants to be rocking on his chair listening to the radio because that's all he knows. That's what he's comfortable with and familiar with. Well, right now we're seeing people in the ordinal space who are becoming just like the grandfathers that I'm talking about now and the fucking Bitcoiners. Evolution is bound to happen, especially in financial technology, bro. Okay? It's a fast-moving space. People have, you know, there's bright minds here who are going to come up with solutions, and what we thought was the impossible is possible. Just like what we saw with fucking Bitcoin ordinals. Let's be honest here. So, again, there will be scams in every part of life, in the traditional legacy world, in crypto, wherever you go. You can't stop that, all right? Good and bad permeates the universe, and the cryptoverse is no different. So, that don't mean the overall underlying technology is a scam, man. Nah. I don't believe in that. I don't subscribe to that logic. Cool? Cool. All right. What do we got here? We got, somebody says, who's this? Boss Gino. How is it going, Francis? You look like my best friend from Quezon City, Philippines. Right now, I'm living here in the U.S., and I really love BRC20. Thank you for keeping us updated all the time. No, my pleasure, man. Yeah, people tell me that a lot. I look like if I'm Filipino, Spanish. Man, I even got Portuguese one time. But I'm actually originally from the Caribbean. Crypto Man, what is FDV of Marlin for this mint price? What's that, sorry? I think you're talking about over here. What are you talking about? The mint price, so, well, this is the actual here. So, launchpad price, if you're talking about that, it's really small, bro. 0.0000, that's not Satoshis, that's dollars. 4726 cents. Yeah? Look, guys, I don't want to waste your time. and trust me, I don't want to waste your time or your money. Although there's not much here to waste. What you will have to do is you will have to bridge over to their Bitcoin. But at this point, guys, seriously, it's not worth it right now. Okay, for the people who are not joining, let's just kind of go over some stuff here. Okay, so there's about over 55,000 people participating in this, getting 1% of the supply, which is right here. So that's the total supply, which is 21 million right there for the launchpad. Okay, launching valuation is 100K, bro. Okay, when you do all the math and when it's all said and done, again, we ain't gonna, like, it's below $1, bro. Come on. Like, we did a freaking allocation for Orange, which is a mobile application, a really cool product and project. You know, as long as they deliver, which it looks like they will. I think that was pretty cool. The allocation size was $100, and that's small. So this right here, if you were to try to do this, is making that look like 100K. Like, you just got 100K. I'm just saying. So I just don't think it's worth your time here, you know, to go through that. Yeah. So I'll just leave it at that. And for the people again who are now joining, don't worry, there will be a bigger one. All right, so Bitmap Tech right here, read the last line. Don't worry, this is just 1%. He's even telling you, but the real deal is coming in days. Okay, guys? So this is the one that we're going to be keeping our eyes out on. That's the real, you know, this is just the preseason, and that's when the real games begin, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, King of Crypto, exactly. But, you know, that's what I mean. He says, lock up $900 for 50 cents. I mean, sure. It's easy to see that now when we see how many people participated, right? But again, who the fuck saw that coming? And by the way, I don't even think, like, I mean, like, maybe you do lock it up, but again, that MBTC is in my MetaMask. And even if it's locked up, it's all good, whatever. For me personally, it's like a very small percent of my portfolio. Don't quote me on this, but I might actually have access to it still because it's in my MetaMask, right? What happens if I go back to that Messin dot whatever it was IO and do a swap from the MBTC back to USDT? I'll know in about 6 days, and I'll probably do an update video on that. But you're right, yeah, it's not worth it. So I wouldn't tell you guys to do that right now, to be honest. But you know, we didn't have this. Nobody had this information. Nobody knew how many people were going to become Russian to this. But again, what you need to take out of this is the amount of demand, the amount of interest, the backers behind it, the Bitcoin Layer 2 narrative, the people who are behind this, who've actually built real, living, breathing, successful protocols, and has made assets that minted from fucking 15 cents to $30,000. So the token in itself is still going to be well worth your time. Maybe not through this mechanism, but through the other means and the vehicles, of course it is. In my opinion. Okay, what do we got here? Sonic is telling us. Sonic is dropping the alpha once again from Poland. Kurwa. Okay, so, what was it? Bode says... I don't know why I said that. I said a Polish word with an Italian accent. We are still very early. The project sounds... Oh, bro, the project is more than legit. Again, right? So, this is what people will start to think now, right? I'm not saying anything about you in particular, Bode, but this is just, you know, normal human psychology. You know, they're like, oh man, they got disappointment, so they got a bad taste in their mouth. And like, oh man, yeah, screw this. Bro, don't sleep on this one. I don't want you guys to sleep on this one. This one is going to be, again, if I had a gun to my head right now, as much as I like the B2 network, and B2 network is fire, bro, trust me, Merlin is probably going to boom a bit more than B2 network. But you can't go wrong. It's like saying, who do you want on your team? You want LeBron James or you want Michael Jordan? Right now, those two are like, Bitcoin L2s are leading the way, in my humble opinion. You know, B2 Network, when we covered them, I think they had like about 50K followers. Now they're over 200K. And that's organic, because part of it, when I say organic, it's not bots. In order to get into, you know, their Odyssey program, which gives you points to get tokens eventually, you must follow them. So that's not fake, right? In terms of bots. What else we got here, guys? We do have some people coming in, like Adil. Thank you, Adil. He says, hey, Francis. First, thank you so much. No problem. Like, you know, the main thing is this, right? Like, I give you guys the information, and who knows? Let's just say it was only like a couple thousand people that joined. Well, it's a whole different story right now. But at least your eyes now is set on this, and you know, hey, okay, this is a legit L2. There's a lot of demand, clearly, right? As you just saw with that over 55K people coming into this. And yeah, that alone should tell you, yeah, I want to look into this further. That's the premise of this entire stream here. So Sonic is shilling his bags once again. Sonic is shilling his minerals. How much minerals you got, dude? Why don't you give one away, Sonic? Instead of shilling it, letting people come buy it. So I hope that makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, now look, I think that's all we got here, right, for y'all. We went over, you know, everything here and what you could expect. And, you know, don't let this, you know, perturb you moving forward. You want to get these tokens, in my humble opinion. Do your own research. That's what we do on this channel. We do our research and we present it for you. And if you guys like similar things, then they might be able to get yours. You gotta shoot your shot, man. Can't be sitting on your hands. Even if you're wrong, don't worry, it's gonna make you become a better researcher and ultimately investor in this space. Not financial advice. That's just the process that I take, and I just share, you know, my findings with you guys. So you know what? There ain't really much left to see other than till the next video. You're on your own. Later.